Hey, can you believe it?
What?
A brand new science course.
So what's so special about this new course?
Remember just how many experiments junior classes did in years 7 and 8? Heaps. Well, Nessa, that's the old Board of Studies, having their infinite wisdom, finally created a course that is packed with experiments.
What is this course?
It's called Investigating Science. It's a full ATAR course, which means it counts towards the HSC. That is 2 units over 2 years. And you can do this course with any other science courses like physics, chemistry, biology, or earth and environmental science.
So why the new course?
Well, students who choose a science course usually like to perform experiments and investigations and to discover things. But unlike biology, physics, chemistry, and earth and environmental science, there is a lot of theory to cover in these traditional science courses. There is more theory than prax. NASA have realized that students want to do more experiments. The purpose of investigating science is for students to learn through experimentation, scientific concepts, and furthermore, to perform experiments on a range of topics and matters that interest them. In fact, a total of 30 hours per year of class time is devoted to students performing their own experiments. That's about 20 periods of self-directed learning, which is about 3 to 4 weeks worth per year.
What do you mean, they're in experiments?
Yes, they choose. The great thing about this new course is that we allow students' personal interests determine the scope of their experiment and research. It could be one experiment or many, it's up to them, and involve research as required. This course is all about practical science, training to do science work that scientists actually do. So imagine a student who wants to culture and grow different microbial cultures from different surfaces of a workplace and determine how environmental factors affect the health of this workplace. Or say study the amount of duration and frequency of microwave radiation emitted by wireless devices. Compare this to acceptable exposure standards. Or do some myth-busting or consumer science testing on manufacturer claims such as the amount of calories in food. Or if a student knows somebody in their family who has a health problem and to research ways to assist with their care. Or even the big questions in science and new realms of discovery. They can choose their own investigation. They can test new scientific ideas. Or a student who say is interested in electronics and building their own circuit. By experimentation, design and testing, they can learn the principles of the electronic components, determine the voltage, current, power, and the resistance requirements to correctly build the circuit. Or a student who wants to analyze the chemistry of corrosion and to find materials to resist it. Or say a student who wants to study the diversity of organisms in their particular environment and the impacts of human activities on them. Or the biology of a living thing that interests them, such as life cycle, diet, habits.
But is that all the experiments that they do?
No, there are experiments in all the topics covered in the 2 years where students learn worthwhile practical knowledge as well as key scientific theories in the realms of physics, chemistry, and biology while they are performing experiments. For instance, there's a range of experiments to do with, for example, water quality testing and purification, practical skills in growing your own plants, plant growth factors, the human body, WHS, and how the body responds to trauma, heart rate monitoring and endoscopy, materials testing and engineering, ecological studies, analog and digital communications, technologies including optics and wireless, physics of fluids and thermodynamics, electricity, chemistry of skincare and medicines. In these activities, they would even devise a hypothesis, soundly plan and conduct an investigation. Think about all the issues to do with ensuring a fair test. Determine safety issues and requirements, analyze data, compare data, graphing results, present data, work individually or in groups, compare with other research, devise conclusions, critique other students' work, and make recommendations for further research.
So, by the end of the 2 years, with all of these experiments, students should become absolute masters of performing experiments?
Yes, and this means it should be an easy course, and fun too. Students should be expecting to get higher ATAR scores in this subject than others.
So who do you think should choose this course?
I think any student who has an ambition to choose a career that involves a lot of science and so would also end up choosing physics, chemistry or biology as well, they should choose this course. But those students only choosing to do biology or whatever for general interest may not need to do this course.
So who should students see if they want to know more?
Mr. Ropen, Mr. Colleen or Mr. Reed.